Right, a beautiful morning. You're welcome to Women's Corner. My name is Rose Blossom. It's exciting always, every time to be here. Remember that this program runs through Monday through Friday, and every time is 11 a.m. to 12 noon. So you can join us and watch us live. And of course, this program is for women. We're trying to empower women and at the same time educate them. At the same time, we inform you and you get to know yourself and of course be the better version of yourself. Do not forget, you can actually download Galaxy Television app from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store, and of course you can watch all of our live programs right from there. Today it's quite interesting because we're talking about something that every woman can relate to, and of course, you know, when I give this topic, people are like, but there are some people that are not housewives. Of course, you're not a housewife, but you're a woman. You're gonna be a wife someday. You're a mother, so it has to definitely applies to you, definitely. So today we're talking about housewives and their role in this economy. How can they help? How can they support both the society and also play the role to their children and at the same time to their husband? You understand? And at the same time, they still take care of themselves, because you know, while you're doing every other thing, you still have to take care of yourself. So we'll be talking about that. But before I introduce my guest, let's quickly go on a short break, a very short break. We'll be right into the studio and I'll introduce my guest, then we'll start talking. Stay with us. Right, welcome back. Yes, we're talking about housewives and their roles in this economy. So my guest today is a barrister, so you have to listen. You know, when barristers are talking, they spit fire. They say it from experience. So yes, I had to bring her in for this one. She's a barrister. Her name is Ola Torera Ajay. She's a legal practitioner, as I said earlier on. She's the president of Rotary Club OTA. She's a teen mentor and she's a police duty solicitor. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for having me here.
Okay, first, when I heard the name police duty solicitor, I was like, what does it mean?
Basically, it's an initiative that helps. It's a synergy between lawyers and the government and the police to help accused persons to ensure that people are not in custody for longer than what the time they're supposed to be in custody. Basically, we are more like, our duty is as solicitors to the police to ensure that they do everything they're supposed to do right. Right.
Okay. All right. That is being cleared. So let's dive into our topic. Now, first, a lot of people don't believe that they should be housewives. A lot of people don't believe that they want to be a career woman, and at the same time, they still want to play the role of wife, you know, being a wife. But let's take it first from the angle of children. What is the most important role that you think a mother, looking at the times that we are, looking at how things are, looking at how, you know, even security, schooling, money, food, everything is, you know, going berserk right now? What do you think are the advice you can give to women that needs to train their child in the proper way? What role should they play for their children in this time that we are?
Traditionally, women are caretakers, and it's important that we do not forget the role. Because of the evolving gender roles, everything is changing and shifting. So we find women going more into workforce now, which has adverse effect on the children. So it's important that women find the synergy, balance both the home front and their career. There is no way it's not something you can delegate. Really, if you really want to train your child or your children properly, I think there's a need to balance, and that would be my advice, to balance both, because it's very important. Everything is changing. The way we raise children, the way we were raised, is different from what we have now.
Yes,
so it takes extra effort now to be able to perform that traditional role as a mother, as a homekeeper, or maybe stay-at-home mother, whichever one describes it. And so basically it's to work on a balance.
Okay, so I would just want to ask this one now, since we're giving the advice, let's talk about mistakes that you think wives, mothers have made over time, you know, when it comes to playing the good example, that good role as a mother to their children, and that they tend not to actually know that that is actually a mistake and which needs to change, and probably somehow it's kind of showing some samples in what the motherhood we have right now. So what are those mistakes that you think over time we've been making and needs to be changed?
First, I would say that neglect. Most women now, with what we have now, everybody is internet savvy. Everyone wants to do things, put everything out there, and they forget the important things. Raising your child up is not on the social media. So women need to go back to that traditional role as caretakers and begin to see how. I understand that things have changed. We cannot do it the way our own grandmothers and all of that. My neighbor gave birth recently, and I had to apologize because there's no adult to stay with her. And I said, I don't know how to bathe a new child. I don't know how to. Our mothers know how to do these things. They say they are going for mugo. Most of the women now do not even know those basic things, how to take care of children. But we are very quick to, we just want to dress them up, the Jersey way, take pictures, share moments, but it goes beyond all of that. So it's important we do not neglect our children. And then another mistake women do now is also to focus more on their career than. I don't blame them. It's quite taxi for them. When I started work at my first firm, and I was told, I don't want to, married women that have children. It's always hard for them to concentrate, because even now that I have my own law firm, most times I'm just thinking, I need to pick my children from school. I need to do this. There's a need to. It affects work, so if you're unable to balance it, you may also you may get it wrong because at the end of the day it still goes back to neglect. You find parents forgetting children in school.
Oh yes.
Or some are even still held up in traffic. Mothers are still working. Most women now, you find women leaving the home as early as 5 a.m. to come back at 8. The children are already sleeping in school, sleeping in neighbors' houses. So all these things we need to look into them and find the balance.
So how can it actually make this balance work? Working and at the same time taking care of the home. Let's leave it. We're still talking about the kids. Taking care of yourself, making sure your career is moving, and at the same time, even if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business, making sure your business is moving. At the same time, you're tending to the kids, because those kids need proper care and attention.
Yes, that's where the husband comes in. Like I said, the roles are shifting. And now we have men. Before, the domestic chores, child support, everything is on the woman, while the man is the breadwinner. But now we have men who now know that, okay, this is how much I'm making, you also need to go work. And then so there's this understanding that if I'm working, I'm also bringing in money, then you can also assist. So now we have shared domestic chores, whereby you find situations whereby the man even volunteers to take care of the child or the children, take them to school, and then so that the woman can concentrate on other things. So it's important the husband really come in and assist. Not all women can afford getting help. Some do not even. Some don't even want, for personal reasons. Yes, we all hear the stories. So it's important for the woman now and her husband or partner to have open conversations, share these roles. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and then it will make it easier for the woman to cope.
Okay, that's very beautiful. Now let's move over to housewives and the role they play in the society. Now we know a lot of times people tend to look at men being the one to make the change in the society. Some people are still sidelining the woman, the role they can play, how they can improve the society, and all of that. Now, significantly, a lot of women still don't even know what role they can play in society. Like you said, if you can take care of a child, you're home and do your biddings and do it well, you're productive, I think you're also helping the society. But I want to hear from you. How do you think women can actually contribute to the society to make sure that things are, I won't say, it's almost impossible to say the society gets normal, but at least there's a little or more contribution, because they say something, they say a man just makes a home, but a woman builds nations. Do you understand? So if a woman is given so much taxi responsibility, that means she has a lot to contribute to the society than a lot of people think. So what are those things that you think women contribute to, and how can they actually contribute to build that nation that we always contribute to them?
I would say women are great administrators. If you look at it from that angle, you find women not even living there. Of course, we know the housewives, the full housewives, they stay at home, they are not employed. But you find out what they are doing in the house. is more than even being employed. The things they do. Women are great administrators, and it's important that we are given the opportunities to show what we are really made of. You find women excelling in different aspects, but the opportunities there, when you compare that to that of the men, it's
not so
quite
much
challenging. Yes, you will find situations where you have opportunities with men, and they would definitely pick the man over you because they assume, this one is a woman. She has children at home. Her husband would not allow her. We have that situation too. Everybody will say her husband would not allow her. So I think it's important, starting from the home, the husband should be more cooperative and allow. There are women that are interested in politics. There are women that even lead in churches. Women lead in different, and they do it very well. So it's important we give them the opportunity, and it's also important for women to identify their strength, know where you are good at. There are some things I say, okay, I'm good at these things. There are some things I don't go. But if I see something I am very interested in, and there's an opportunity there, whether it's a man, whatever gender you identify as, I'm going to be at the forefront, making sure that I stand equal with that man to say, yes, I'm also equally qualified for this thing, and I will go for it.
You know, you said something very important. That reminded me of a conversation I had with a colleague yesterday. You know, after the program, because the guest was like, a woman can do some things. You know, sometimes you think a woman cannot do it, but she can do it. So while after the program, the person was like, oh, so people can do everything, Abi. Okay, lift this thing with just one hand. I was like, okay, what's the point of lifting what you asked me to lift? Like, first of all, there are women who can lift it because they are going to the gym. They build themselves to be able to lift it. I'm not trying to want to lift those things. It's not my interest to. But if I have an interest, I definitely will be able to lift it. And I think the conversation just ended in that part. So sometimes when you hear a woman say, I can do what a man can do, I think men should try to just understand that it's not like a competition. It's just trying to say, if I put my mind to want to do it, I will do it. But if I'm not interested, there is no way, even if you try and train me, I will not just be able to do it. Now let's go over to the single mothers while we're talking about housewives. Now at this point, a lot of people have kind of stigmatized single mothers. Yes, we have the stigmatization has reduced a whole lot, but it's still out there. You know, you see some people will tell you, I can't marry a single mother. Some will tell you, okay, even if I marry a single mother, at least, you know, it's better for me because she has gone through some experience, she knows this, she knows that, she can handle it. Now at this point, some people now look at it further, saying that, okay, for the children that have single mothers, sometimes it affects the kids, you know, the way they grow up when they want to get married and all of that, the ideology they have, because it's not both parent. So I just want to ask, for the child part now, what role do you think a single mother should be able to play for the child? Because to be honest, sometimes if you neglect, if one mother is neglecting, if two parents are even neglecting a child, I think it's kind of, I still have father, I still have mother. But you see, when a single mother neglects a child, oh Lord, it can be very bad. So now, what advice will you give to single mothers in the aspect of playing that good role for their child?
Yes, just like you said, it's even more difficult where it's just a parent, and the role becomes double, if not more. You're being both the breadwinner and the caretaker. So everything, it's like a frenzy. You're waking up in the morning to take care of the child, you're going to work, you're coming back home. Your 24 hours it's basically focused on taking care of that child, and also trying to maintain a balance in your own life. I would advise that single mothers, they are not alone. There are many support systems they can reach out to. There are family members they can reach out to. But most importantly, is for them to be determined and not look at now. We've had situations whereby the mother gets so frustrated that they abandon the child or children and run away, probably with another man. And this I can't kill myself kind of attitude. So it's important for single mothers to also balance. It's more tasking, but then you find yourself in that situation and there's nothing much you can do about it. So it's important to balance work, get help if you need to get help, rest, you don't have to be a superwoman, ask for help if you need help. get people around you that can support you, that people that are trusted, that can also help you look after your children as time as may be needed. And maybe you may also let your organization understand that you play such roles so that they can at least cut you some slacks once in a while.
Very true. Okay, now that's one part, and I know why women are, like you said, is more like a frenzy. Why the single mothers are trying to attend to the child, a lot of them tend to forget about themselves, and sometimes it kind of affects the role they play in the society. I know a lot of single women that have, in fact, the truth is, I feel like the only reason why people kind of stigmatize single mothers is because a lot of single mothers have done it wrongly, so that is why they seem like, oh, single mother. But if they had actually been doing it rightly, I don't think there will be any stigmatization. If there was awareness, there was education on that part, it would have been good. So as a woman, as a single mother now, what role do you think they can actually play in the society, in this economy, knowing that yes, they're playing as a mother and at the same time as a father, and also they are doing that to the child? Then now when it comes to the society, a lot of people still believe that they have nothing to offer, because why? They believe, okay, you could not keep a man, you could probably not keep a home, and they tend to look down on them. Now we know definitely we're not supporting the looking down, because that is the very wrong notion. But what do you think they can actually contribute to the society that a lot of people do not even know that these women are capable of?
Okay, I would say they can contribute their time, their talents, their treasure, and their thinking to society. Like you rightly mentioned, most of these things, most of the single men have done it wrong, which caused this stigmatization. Also, the community, or let's say our own African community, also has that stigmatization for women. So it's important for women, for such single mothers, to let the world see what they are capable of, what there are many single mothers, and I'm speaking from personal experience now, that are doing very well, that if they don't say it, you will not know. They are doing well, whatever. Even you have married women that are even suffering. Worse than but they feel I'd rather be a missing.
I'll stay married.
I'll stay married and all of that. And I say this because I'm mostly into family law, divorce and all of that. So we see a lot of things every day, and you find that women are ashamed to be single mothers, irrespective of the situation, maybe until the man is about to kill them or there's something major that happened. And this is because they do not even have the resources to make their own money. Women will make their own money, whatever the level of shame or anyone can put. It is the single mothers that rely on men to take care of them. Now, okay, you need to be with this man, you need to be with that man, you need to beg, like that you want. But you find other women that are doing well, CEOs, they own their own companies, they own their own businesses, entrepreneurs and all of that. They are doing well, and even men beg to be around them. So it's for women to begin to change their mindset. Everywhere, if you open Facebook today, you will see someone can just type single mothers around from them. Even as a single mother, if you want to rent an apartment, they will tell you no in this Lagos, because they believe you can't afford it. So it's some of these things. But when women begin to show that yes, I'm capable, I have my own money, I can do this, I can do this, this is my talent, this is my skill, this is my thinking. My thinking is not, my existence is not based on man. It is me and my children focusing on my career. And with all this, they can do magic.
Which brings me to say, for most women out there who are single and you think it all depends of, funny enough, I've actually seen some single mothers that, in fact, sometimes I just talk to them. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, is it that you don't believe me, or you just believe there's nothing again you have to offer than your body, or there's nothing again you have to offer than to keep begging around? You can do something, you can start a business. And while in fact I have one just around the corner of my house where it was so bad that even after advising her, some women came around and gave her money to start a business. She started a business, and of course we're patronizing her, and we told her, see, we cannot keep patronizing you every day. You have to go out. Why we gave you this business? So that you can reach it's not just your locality. You have to go out. You're making this money and you're making your gains. You have to go out. Unfortunately, I don't know how, when you are trying to stand on your 2 feet and you're still seeing a fine bag, you are eyeing it, you want to buy. You see a fine hair, you are eyeing it, you want to buy. That business is going to run down, which eventually what she did, the business ran down. There was nothing she could do, and at the end of the day, she was actually disgraced out of the locality. She had to literally, she did something literally that everybody was like, why would you? Because everybody knows her, so they had to send her out of that locality. And you know, I don't know where she is right now, but this is just to say that a lot of women that are single, when you're single, you can still do it. You can work, you can make this money yourself. See, if I know you have a child where you're paying school fee, but just look at yourself as somebody that's even single. Do you understand? Like when you're single, you were doing all of these things for yourself. Now a child came in, why shouldn't you be able to do that? Even if the man is not available or is available or whatever, you can still be a better version of yourself. Right, welcome back. Well, you heard that. That is the only way you can strengthen your tuition. In fact, one thing I would just always say is avoid negative vibe. When you see somebody's bringing up the negative vibe, it's been toxic. See, my darling, as much as you're saying I can manage, I'm a gentle person, I can have my control. My darling, they say bad manners correct the good ones. How do they put it? Right? I'm right? So yes, if you're not careful, and they say if you cannot beat them, you will join them eventually. This one is not that if you cannot beat them, join them. No, if you cannot beat them, even while you're trying to beat them, at the end of the day, you just find out that you're joining. So just avoid those bad vibes, those negative vibes, and just, in fact, the best advice I've ever given or I've ever heard anybody is make sure you always drink water and mind your business. Like, it's that simple. And at that point, you'll be able to think. You need some alone time, you know, to build up yourself. Anyways, we're talking about housewives and their role in this economy. Now let's talk about the way economy is right now. A lot of women, you know, are really complaining. You know, I saw a vlog of a friend. He's a man, so whenever she's going to the market, there's a stipulated amount he always gives to his wife to go to the market. So when the woman comes back, the woman will always not really complain because she knows her husband, so she finds a way to tell him that that money you gave me was not enough. But anyway, I just had to manage it. All those ones I used to buy, you will not see it. But why? He didn't believe. So he had to do a vlog video, excuse me, where he put on his vlog, and he followed her to the market. And while he followed her to the market, he was telling the pepper women and all of that, I followed my wife to the market today. I want to see how she's buying things. I want to see if it's really expensive. And those women were laughing. And the wife was telling him before leaving, in the video, before they got to market, like, you see this follow, where they follow me. Once this market women cite you, what I will buy for 2,000, they will not even agree 3,000. So don't, he said no. So while I was making the video, now usually she buys a pint of pepper, you know, blend it and keep in the freezer. Now there's a stipulated price, but she knows how when she buys like 2 pints or 3 pints, they cut down the price. They refused. They refused. Man was like, agree now. He said no, guy will not agree. So later the man say, oh yeah, buy it now. Don't worry, I'm here. Buy it. He bought it. Now they got to the meat part. Now during the meat part, the woman could not even accept the fact that she has to buy that meat for that amount. She was like, no. Is it because you are seeing this man? No. So she kind of, you know, just with the guy and told the man to move away just a little bit. And she was able to buy that meat at that point. Now she does. You see, when you were there, this man was saying, but now as you left, he now bought this price. Now I'm just giving the story because I know a lot of men don't believe when they say, you know, they'll tell you, I know, I was there, how much, I'm giving you this, why is it not enough? Now, I want you to just speak to the men on how they can be supportive to their wives so that they will be able to manage this. Yes, I know a woman should definitely have something to do so that when the man gives her money, she can support for the house because the economy is not smiling. But at this point, I want you to just give advice to the men on how they can be able to make sure that they manage their home, they manage the finance, and at the same time be supportive of their wife in all aspects.
All right, thank you. We've all found ourselves in an economy whereby we all have to now manage. I think this is, even if there's another thing apart from cutting our coat according to our clothes.
Yes.
So it's very important that men are understanding. I know some men that will say if they've not seen big head of fish and one
big turkey.
yes. So I think it goes back to the men, and it's what you give that you will get. Because of the current situation now, men also have to up their own financial gains. Look for extra sources of income.
True.
And there are some men who are able to set up their wives. If you can do that, please do. It would help you to have more incomes. There are some men who, because of ego, I don't want anybody to, now if you go and work, you will do better than me, because we have situations like that where men purposely quell their wives' career so that they don't even do better. So this is the time to allow your women to also work. If she can, if you're able to agree to that, let her work. Also support the family financially, and then cooperate with her. I know some women. I've seen a story of a woman who was collecting like 200,000 for school fees, but was paying 100,000 for many years until the man himself went there. And so I'm not talking of that kind of situation now, but then I believe that with good communication and trust, you can work together and find a synergy. One of my mentors would say, we have found ourselves in a situation whereby everything now you have to downsize. If you, like you said, you're an entrepreneur, you want to carry this bag, you want to do LV, you need to cut. This is not the time to say you want to go for one party, you want to buy a cloth of 1 million naira. You want to just belong unnecessarily. If you can afford it, fine, but please don't do beyond yourself.
I like that one, in fact, because these days you see some people, what's that thing, Ashwebi?
Yes.
You see something, they will come and meet you. In fact, when they bring the Ashwebi, say, it's not expensive, it's just 50k. I'll be like, So when I buy a dress for 50k, I'm not even buying a dress, I'm buying a raw material.
Yes, you're still going to make it.
I will still make it, and obviously because the clothes is expensive, I want to do one design.
You have to look expensive.
Exactly. You will probably want to buy new jewelries or new shoes or new bags. And
makeup.
Because you don't want to probably do your makeup yourself. You want to go to a makeup house. You understand? Now you do all of that. You still transport yourself. You go. Well, it's celebration. I understand, but only for you to eat rice. And do the souvenirs. And these days now, the only souvenirs I see most of the times, except for the celebrities, you see jota, you see takeaway bag, you see towels and all of that. In fact, the jota that is in my house, I don't think I can finish using it. Yes. So what I do is, most of the time, because going for this ceremony and all that, sometimes I just want my rest, except if you're pretty close to me, I'll take up my time to come. What I just do is, if you're selling Ankara, you're selling lace, I go for the lace because I know you make more from the lace. I go for that. Okay, this is my support, I'll buy the lace, but I'm not coming. But if it's someone that is very close to me, oh fine, well and good. I know that even after the rice and the survey, there's something else that will still come on board. But anyways, this is just to wrap up the show. Thank you very much, because I know we've spoken to women for the child, for the roles they play in the society, and also at the same time we spoke about the single mothers. And yes, we did not really dive into single because we're talking about housewives, so it has not gotten to the single ones yet. And at the same time we spoke about being yourself and being a better version of yourself, and making sure that as a single mother you are not making other single mothers look bad, and as a housewife you are not also making other housewives look bad. And for those who shade each other, please, even you're a single mother, you're a housewife, she's not doing well, the other person is doing well, however it comes, vice versa, I think it's just better that we know that we are both women, and that is the most important thing. And if Galaxy Television can create a program for women, I think it's just a call to order that you have to start speaking out for yourself and other women. When you say, in fact, let me share this story before I go. Today when I was coming to work, right in the shuttle I took, there's a young girl, two girls that took keke, and not naturally the fare is supposed to be 200 naira, but they didn't even go halfway. It was just, for me, I was like, why didn't they even just walk? Like they are young, you understand? But probably they are trying to beat time or something. So when they dropped, they gave the man 500. Naturally, I was expecting the man to give them 300 naira. based on that, it's a very short distance. They didn't even get to what's the name of this place, Man House. They didn't even get to Man House at all. So it's still even further, just very close. And the lady was like, why are you giving me 200 naira? You're supposed to give me 400. He said, no, I told you it was 200 naira. I was like, how will you take 200 naira from there to there? And well, to cut the long story short, he gave them 300 naira. 300. No, he gave them 200 naira, so they paid 150 each. So we left. So there was another there are other passengers in the shuttle. I didn't see anything until all of them dropped. I was like literally the last person to drop. So when the other one dropped, as we're going, and I had to call the driver. I said, see, it's not like that. Not be so. You complain to federal government. Do you know what you did now? It's a simple corruption, because if you get there, you'll be as bad as that. Now, I'm just sharing this story because a lot of people are using this fuel scarcity to do a lot of terrible things. And you know, I could not just hold myself. I had to just talk. And sometimes this is just, yes, I know they are ladies, they are very young, they could have trekked and all of that, but I just feel like they cheated. And sometimes you see some of these girls, when they are going home, they will not be begging, because probably they gave them a stipulated amount to go to where they are going and coming. And that's what now you will now see young girls begging and fall victim of different all sorts. So I just think when you see a woman and you see a young girl, you can still talk to her, you can still try and advise her, and you see, it's not bad. Just support ourselves, and I think that's better. You know, we usually were supposed to take, let's take the cooking tips. How to make fluffy moi moi. This one is from Chef Tolu. Chef Tolu specially made it for us, Galaxy TV, and I really appreciate your effort for always trying to, you know, show your skills and at the same time support women with your cooking skills. So let's quickly see how to make fluffy. I know a lot of people don't know how to make fluffy moi moi. Don't look at it that is in moi moi. I know you don't know how to make it, so just watch. Let's see how to make fluffy moi moi. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
I'm not such a beans lover, but you see, give me moi moi or akara. So join me to make this fluffy, tasty moi moi. You know, to get in that soft, succulent texture of moi moi, it's just one thing: eggs. Right? You know how you had your eggs to your flour to make cake and bread? Yes. So we're going to in the bowl of put all the blended beans. Yes, and here we have introduced our beaten egg, and then you just stir, give it a good mix. Put in vegetable oil. You can also add palm oil to give it that fluffy texture as well, so that it doesn't keep sticking to your whatever container you're going to use to contain the batter. If you have meat stock, fish stock, you should also introduce it. Yeah, and then it's time to scoop. We're also going to be introducing cooked fish into it. You can also add your boiled eggs as well. The fact that you've mixed it into the batter doesn't mean that you shouldn't also add eggs if you still want to. And yay, this my came out so good.
Come back. Now we're wrapping the show. You know, it's good to always watch things. Well, I didn't even know, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, it's a national TV. I didn't know they put egg in moi moi. But Barrister knows how to cook. Maybe I'll come to your house, because she was the one that told me that's what makes it fluffy. And let me make it. I'm going to this color. Yes. So that's how to make fluffy moi moi. That's so interesting. I loved it. I'm feeling hungry right now. But anyways, this is all we can take for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, Barrister, for coming. It's been an amazing one with you. You did justice to the topic, as always.
Thank you.
Okay.